How are we doing out there? Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for sharing your day with me. I appreciate you back here doing all this technical stuff. I put the link up for everybody that might want to come into the studio. I want to also share just a second to get us started. I appreciate you. I do.
I'm JB Bryan, the creator of Afroeconomics, a strategic financial empowerment program based on 10 timeless financial principles like generational wealth and legacy, financial knowledge, credit confidence, entrepreneurship, self-reliance, and more. Afroeconomics gives you the guidance and tools you can use to develop and sustain wealth. Check out Afroeconomics on your favorite social media platforms. You will find us everywhere. Plus, enjoy my weekly Afroeconomics podcast. There are many levels of Afroeconomics membership, including the free online access membership level called No Excuses. So make no excuses and check out afroeconomics.com today. Powered by JB Bryan Financial Group, Incorporated, a registered investment advisory firm. Hashtag Afroeconomics.
Hashtag Afroeconomics. How you doing, Tracy? How you doing, Mr. Jefferson? You all, it is a great day. We're going to talk about retirement. Who's going to retire? Who wants to retire? What's wrong with y'all? Y'all know I'm not going to retire. I am not. So even if you're like me and you don't want to retire, you're not thinking about retirement, what we all want to do is be financially independent. We all want to be financially independent. It is my job to grow investments. That's what I do. I am an investment advisor. Yes, yes. And I think that JB Bryan Financial Group Incorporated started in 1995. I know that. But I think that my firm is the only registered investment advisory firm on this planet that focuses on Black wealth. Isn't that amazing? And well deserved. I thank God for my clients. I thank God for my clients. And one thing that I promise you, I promise every client out there listening, Mimi, thumbs up back to you. I promise every client that's back there listening, I guarantee to give you my undivided attention. And I'm telling you, we cannot get enough of that. When I deal with professionals, one thing that is hard to get is their undivided attention. And I'm so thankful. I mean, I just was thinking about that this morning. And I was like, whether we're Zooming or whether we're talking or whether we're meeting face to face, whatever, when I'm with my client, that I'm working on securing their future, working on their right today, making their day better, talking about their future, their family, their health, their goals, anything they want to talk about, I guarantee 100% that I will give you my undivided attention. When it's our time, it's our time. And I mean that with every bit of my body. And I know that you all that know, the members know, the clients know, and the clients, when their asset base, have absolutely complimentary membership for life. I have clients now that are day one clients from 1995. Think about how much retirement has changed because I created Afro Economics because I wanted to create an environment, and I will put the link up again if any of the members want to come in. But I wanted to create an environment where I was talking to people while they're still working because I was meeting everybody at the end of their career. And that's cool because you're just you're making a lot more money when you only focus on people at the end of their career. But Afro economics is my clients and my commitment to our community. Because of the asset clients, the clients that invest with me, we're able to have the Afro economics, which is about wealth development. And we do the classes every Friday. And then this weekend, absolutely complimentary, free. We're having our town hall, includes lunch for everybody. And in Washington, D.C., I keep that office. I keep the New York office. I keep the Virginia office because I want to be there and give you my undivided attention. That's the goal, for us to be there, for me to be there for you. I am so thankful to be able to say that from 1995, I'm excited that I have these clients that are still living off their money, still living off their money, and they retired in their 40s. Think about how much things have changed over the last 30 years. Things have changed so much. Like, they were retiring back then. Companies were giving out packages to get people out that door. That's the link for members if you want to come into the studio and talk and give back. I believe that this is just very important for us to be generous about our life experiences, to be generous about the information that we have, to be generous. Every week, Mimi, I do generational wealth. We have been bombarded with all these little trickery titles. One is generational wealth. Everything that I represent is generational wealth. Everything that Afro economics is, and I know Mr. Barden, who just came in the studio, would agree, it's about generational wealth. Yeah. And then we had a workshop on estate planning, Mimi, that I work a lot with my clients on, so that they can avoid those type of issues. Lord, girlfriend, I know oh too well. I'm from North Carolina too, and I've had some family problems too, with estate issues too, girlfriend. And one thing I must say, the truth of the matter is that the more committed that I have become to our community, and even if you knew me at University of Virginia, they would know that I've always been committed to Black wealth, Black empowerment, the betterment of us. But as I moved it into my professional life, the number of Black organizations that have not embraced Afro economics because of that, it's like they would rather invite in the majority owned businesses. So, as we'll say, and they'll hold something called generational wealth, they don't understand that when we don't support businesses that look like us, when we don't support business ownership, but yet you put up something that talks about 300,000 Black women out of work, but you got a Black woman that's owned an investment firm for over 30 years, which is a statistical anomaly, 100% mine, thank God, me and God. The example that people can get from the help that I can provide to them for absolutely free as a no excuse member of Afro economics is frightening. The level of people that say they want generational wealth and they want Black people to advance and they want us to do better, but they don't do anything to help us do better. They don't do anything. They don't bring in a licensed professional that focuses on our issues. Like a member was telling me the other day, he has to take care of his mother, he has to take care of his children. That is a straight up sandwich person. And we as Black people are much more likely, especially as we approach retirement, we are much more likely to be sandwiched. We are much more likely to have parents that need money from us, and then have children that are still needing money from you. And then you got to plan for your retirement. And then the estate gets all messed up. So you invested all this money into this generation ahead of you, and there's nothing there for you to get out of it. Nothing. Nothing. But we don't want people to just talk about that. But I just thank God for that for giving me this tireless commitment to helping, to take this time to give us some truth. And it's free. But if I were talking about something totally irrelevant, and something about how miserable things are, and how that we were this and we were that and we are this, and then why we're supposed to like just sit around on a freaking corner and beg for the government to watch out for us in the future. I'm not going to do that. I'm not that. I'm not that one. I'm the one that shows us how to create our own businesses. I'm the one that shows us how to maximize our 401k. I'm the one that shows us how to do the allocations in that work plan, in that TSP. I'm the one that shows us how, when you retire, let's do this because this will be better for you. Now we've built this up. I got tired of just seeing people have way too little money at the end of their career. And a member of Afro Economics can get thousands of dollars of advice for free. Basically free, but $30. All they have to do is do $30 a month membership, and I'm going to set up that allocation at work and not take any fees out of it. And the number of people that I see on Facebook who retire and have never even had a conversation with me, but you want to be on my friends list? But I'm supposed to consider you a friend? You see how they conveniently changed it. Like, people have changed from friends to followers. The followers. But me, my members, we are literally, I serve them. I'm more than a friend. I'm more than friend. I treat my members, my clients, the same way God treats me. That's my goal. To do unto them as God does unto me. His grace is sufficient. So it doesn't matter one person's richer than the other person's. Everybody is getting that same love, just like God loves us. He's giving us that same. We ain't gotta get VIP. And thank God don't have a VIP section. I found you. Yeah, that power of attorney is a powerful tool, and a lot can be done while that person is still alive. Yeah. The Ms. Davis said that we have a problem with trusting each other. It's not true. Come here and talk to me face to face, Ms. Davis. It's not true. It's just that many people that look like me have a problem trusting someone who's doing better than them. Where many of us have a problem trusting someone who they really know is legit. And look, and on the top level, many of us have a problem trusting someone that's asking us to be better than where we are right now. Like, we have a problem trusting someone because they think they're too good. Like, they're just too good. Just too good. It's too good. She just can't be true. Just can't be true. I'd rather just settle. I'd rather just settle because I see so many people allow themselves to be messed over That it ain't that we don't trust each other. It's just that we go out of our way to deal with people that you don't trust. Like that man that had this church and it's $50 million, $50 million, $50 million. He got people to give. Now they knew that man wasn't doing right. I don't believe it. I just don't believe that he didn't know he was doing wrong. You know, that they didn't know. I think deep in their mind, they knew that this man had all these Bentleys. Now they live the judge said the majority of the people going to his church, you know, were low income. So this man got Bentleys, Mercedes, all this stuff. He don't even work as much as you work. He don't work as much as you work. And you just choose to trust him. Like I saw a video about DMX the other. DMX said, he said, you can't go through all that worrying about who you trust. What you got to do is trust yourself. We got to trust ourselves more to realize that a snake is going to be a snake. And that's what he said. He said, a snake is going to bite you. It's going to bite you. And you have to trust that. Because he even talked about how his first mentor that brought up, you know, that really introduced him to hip hop music, but he also introduced him to crack through marijuana and snuck it into it. Like, so right then, you know that is not someone you can trust. And that's why he said, you know, I gotta trust that the snake is gonna be the snake. And from that moment on, when you gave him that toxin, you should have said that. And the pain that God has coming through to me in these trust issues is amazing. In these estate issues, that it is amazing to me that God is putting me into a position, me to hopefully heal you. Yeah, Miss Davis.
Okay, I keep getting an echo, but I'm going to say this.
Oh, am I echoing the whole time?
Yeah, from the studio, from being in the studio, not out of the studio.
Oh, not out of the studio, but in the studio, you
In the
hear
studio.
echo. Well, as
Yeah.
long as everybody else can't, I think you might be echoing though. Oh, but I mean, what I'm saying now, but I took my headphones out on Friday. Look, she cut her off. And then I put the headphones in. So I might have messed up something in the settings. That's why it sounds different. But I'm sorry. But you were saying about we trust, that it's hard for us to trust. Like, and I can understand that if our issue was trusting, then my chances of everybody in the world investing with me would be greater. You know why?
Wait,
Because
I'm going to come back. Wait a minute.
But if it were a trust issue, then you would be vetting. Then we would be vetting people, and we would make sure they're licensed, and we would check on their background, and we would see. You know what I'm saying? And we would ask. You would look for referrals or something. You would come to. You would do. You know, people are around my people all the time. So if it were a trust, no, that's. We put their whole life savings in someone that they didn't even check if they have a license. So the money is completely gone. I've met people like that. Their money is just gone.
And I'm going to go out.
The person eventually goes to jail after they do it to 10 more people that a lot of times they met at a place they do trust. Like they have one in Virginia. People met the person at church. So they trusted the church, but they knew nothing about that advisor. So our persons that we do trust have to be careful who they're putting in, and we have to.
I'm going to come back in. I want to defend my point.
It's that bad? Because we can hear you great.
I'm going to come out.
Okay. I don't know how to. I don't know how it's going to help her defend her point when she comes back. But from a trust perspective, it says, I trust everyone until they prove themselves otherwise. Exactly. But most importantly, Mimi, only trust yourself, you and your relationship with God. you and your relationship with God. Then he will clear the way. And you will get this spirit of discernment where you can feel, oh, that don't feel right. I don't trust that person. I don't trust that person. And you'll feel it, and then don't doubt yourself. See, what messes us up is that we get that feeling, but then we stop trusting our feeling. We get, we don't. It's
Still the same.
echoing, but you talk. I'm gonna stop talking.
All right. Okay, so so what I was saying about trusting people, for example, and you know this to be fact, we have someone, Black female investment advisor, has a reputation in the community for doing nothing but good things. But we have people among us that would say, that's a Black woman. No, don't trust her. No, don't want to trust any Black people. We are still, many of us are of that mindset. As smart as we think that we are, but we got a problem with that. We'd rather take our business down to Mr. Bob, um, Miss Delilah, or whoever, and invest with her or entrust her than you. You've done absolutely nothing, but you personally have done nothing. But there are others of us where we've bitten our people and we've injected poison and stuff within them. And then they're like, well, no, I can't trust my folks. I got to take my business up to Alpharetta somewhere or get it out of Stone Mountain. Too many Negroes around here. They're going to do me wrong. The customer service is bad. That's what I'm talking about.
More comfortable for you. So I'm gonna talk now. Now I'm unmuted me, but I've muted you for a second while I talk back. So I understand, your point 100%. But if a white person says that exact same thing about a Black woman that Black person said about me, then the white person is racist. So what does that make the Black person who discriminates against the Black person?
That's not really how they are really going to see it. We go skin color a lot of times, and especially when we're dealing with business. Already, it's like repulsiveness has come up. I'm not dealing with her. Let me deal with that lady back in the corner in the office. This girl she even looks like she doesn't know anything. I don't like the way her hair is styled. All of that. We use those things to go against maybe some of the um this echo is driving me crazy because I'm hearing my voice. Speak up. Let me go out one more time.
No, it's not that. It's probably just the way that I did that. I made that the setting, and I'm gonna try settings, audio. Oh, I see. That's what's happening. It's gonna be better when she comes back. It had me talking through the camera. I hope this will be better for her. Y'all can still hear me. Yeah, great. Yeah, Mimi said it's unfortunate fact because of stereotypes. But the sad part is really we cannot expect others to treat us better than we treat ourselves. And I remember one day I was getting a delivery, and the delivery person, it was a young Black female, and she couldn't find me. So I was telling her exactly what to do, and she would not listen to what I was saying. Like the app would tell me what to do, and I say, okay, no, I see you, but you got to turn around. And she literally doubted my ability to tell her how to get to my own home. So when she got there, I got to the door and I said, sis, I really wanted to help you. no, I really didn't want you to go through that. I mean, it was like at least an extra 20 minutes within a 1 block radius. She was just all off, you know what I'm saying? And if she would just have calmed down and trusted me, that I could have helped her. And I think that she even called me one time so she could tell that I'm Black. I sound exactly like a Black woman. So I just could not understand like how she would not allow me to help her. And then like she, basically snapped at me, at the door. And I was like, I'm not gonna give her a bad evaluation, but I really wanted to just help her to know that there are some of us who really want to see her be successful. And then afterwards, like she calmed down, I guess, and then she texted through the app back to me, thank you so much for your help. And I don't know if she literally calmed down or she was thinking this lady could do a bad evaluation on me, because the first thing right after you leave, the next thing they asked was, how was the delivery? And they and I don't know why God gave me this, commitment to helping. But one thing that I had to do in order to save myself from all that pain is to accept that some people are just do not want help. Some people just do not want help, and don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. And then focus on those who do want your help. Give them your undivided attention. And then what we will do is call and just leave a message that you want, that you have this problem and you want help with, but you haven't done anything to join, even do the free membership, do anything to reach out, like nothing, like, you know what I mean? They go to the website. Like we kind of like that, where it's like you want help, but you won't do anything to actually get the help that we need. And so it might be more of a self-esteem issue that we have versus trust issues. No. And it comes across as like not trusting, but we really, I think sometimes we get, is that a little better? Because I switched it to a different speaker, a different,
I'm still kind of getting the same, but
it shouldn't be that. I did change the audio. And then when I went in, remember that time a long time ago when it was doing that? But it was doing it for everybody else. But when I went into audio, I went into headset. And then, how about that? Is that better?
No.
And it's on, okay, wait a minute. Audio output. Headset.
Okay.
Is that better?
It's the same.
Headphones, output, speaker, communication, headphones. How about that? And I have noise cancellation.
All right.
That's better. And
I'm still getting it. Yeah, it's an echo and then it's a delay. All right. I'm gonna come through Facebook. I'm gonna come through by way of my phone. I'm on my laptop.
What about that? See, just like the delivery person, she won't listen to me. Look, I'm trying to work through options. So how do we estimate how much we will need for retirement? Let's talk about that. Like, how would a person that does want to stop work, how would they estimate how much money they need to have available? And in our industry, we use as a rule of thumb that to draw down your money, taking out between 3.5% and 4% of your money. And some people are like, boy, oh my goodness, Jay. But if you want the money to grow forever, if not, if you take out too much, then you'll be taking out everything that you're making. And some people do that. But if you want the money to really be growing while you're taking withdrawals, the 3 to 4% is a good rule of thumb. But there are some ways and other options around that. But the first thing is to just discover, how much money do you need? How much money do you need for your retirement? And some of you can just put in like how much you think you would need for your retirement. Right now you can put it in. But that was like be something that we would meet about. Like the earlier in life the better. But so if you said I need $100,000 a year in order to retire. When I retire, and say you said I want to retire at 62. Well, according to the recent survey, that most people feel like they're going to live 80 years after they retire at 62. I'm sorry, 40 years. So they'd be 82 years old. I'm glad. I'm glad that God played that back to me. Like 80. So if you live 20 years more after 62, then need your money, of course, to last for those 20 years. And for Mimi, as Mimi was saying, for generational wealth, we want some of that money left. But when you're looking at $1 million and 4%, that would generate about $40,000 a year. And that for most people would be taxable. So if you bumped it up to 50, then you'd be after taxes taking home around that much, Mr. Brown. How you doing? Thank you. Yeah, everybody, make sure you say hey to everybody. Everybody come in and say hi. I see you. I see your numbers, but unless you're like Mimi and Mr. Brown, I can't give you the love that I would love to give to you. Hi, Miss Cherry. My mother's maiden name is Cherry. Are you related to me? But that is good. Yeah, Mimi, my family in North Carolina are the Cherries and Rices and Bryans. My dad's from North Carolina too. Both of my parents, they met in North Carolina at Elizabeth City University. Elizabeth City State University. When they were there, well, it was Elizabeth City State College. So then, yes. And so what Mr. Barber is mentioning, what it brings me to my next point. If you don't have enough, if a person was like, well, if that I have $1 million and I need this 100,000 in income, then their Social Security will be able to supplement. So if they're dependent on, they were trying to get to 100, their Social Security will be 30. So they have 50 from the investments, now 30 from their Social Security. So they kind of could lower their need from their investments because of the Social Security. And then if they have a pension, and say their pension might be 40,000 a year. So now they have 40 from pension, 30 from their Social Security, and 40 to 50. Well, they could do 40 on their investments now. They wouldn't have to take out. Well, let's just say they did 40 because they had to pay 50 because they had to pay the taxes. So at that 5% withdrawal. So they have that 50, 40 from work, and 30. That's taking them well over the 100,000 that they wanted to get to. So, depth and at 62, if they're stopping work at 62, then they're taking the lower Social Security check. But if they live a long time, then that would be fantastic. If they live a short period of time, they'll probably appreciate that they started early even more. Like if I had a client with a chronic illness, uh, I'm going to encourage them to start at 62 if they're not working, instead of spending their own money. Use the Social Security money, because if you die and only get one check from Social Security, they're not giving your family that check. And if you're married, you only get the higher of the two checks, which is horrible. So you put all this money into the Social Security pool and it's gone. Wow. I'm related. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm glad you're here. The that's a blessing. The I gotta get more. Look, you got me all emotional. How you doing, Mr. Martin? Yes, indeed. So when we have, all these other forms of income, we really need to consider that, and it doesn't put as much pressure on your savings. But a key thing about retirement and retirement planning is learning what is important and what is not. So when you set up your budget, you're focusing on actual priorities. Priorities. And if you take Social Security while working, Mr. Barber said, what if you take your Social Security while working? I mean, you have to be at full retirement age, or you have a part-time job. That's a great thing to do when you retire. Have a part-time job that doesn't take you over the threshold to reduce your Social Security. How you doing, Mr. White? Thank you, y'all, for saying hi. Yes, indeed. Like, it doesn't take you over that the Social Security. Every year they allow you to make a little bit more earned income. They don't care about your unearned income. So the money you take out of your investments, you can still get your Social Security, but it's your earned income. So your part-time job, you may max out at near 30,000. That's all that you can make and not bother your Social Security. But yes, you can work and get your Social Security, but there is an income cap before they start taking your Social Security back. This should be taught. Yeah, it should be taught. They have some financial stuff that they teach in high school in Virginia that they have to do before they graduate. But when I looked at the material that my daughter was looking at with the financial literacy in high school, it focused a lot on debt. I was surprised. It was focusing on look, but it's sponsored by Capital One. So the school system went out her, and they got a sponsor for their financial class. Or I don't know, but it's sponsored, provided by, maybe the books are bought by, I don't know, by Capital One. At that point, it might be another sponsor now. So of course there was a big section in there about buying a car, financing a car. There wasn't anything about saving up and getting your car. And one thing that I feel that Black men are really good about is saving up and buying a car. I think that as women, like, we do a lot of the financing, the vehicles. So we get into a habit of that. And especially our well educated. So like I've noticed, like, my parents were very well educated. So um they had to have a certain presentation. So a lot of people in education, they don't make a lot of money, but they want to look like it because they're educated. So I remember, like, when I was 6 years old and my father finished his PhD program, he got a full scholarship. They paid, he got his full salary, everything. And I remember the only thing that he wanted was the Cadillac. We wanted to go to Disney World. We didn't get to Disney World, but we got that Cadillac. We got that Cadillac. And he financed it. And he had 4 kids. And one time I ran the numbers, And I was like looking at that. I remember because he talked about it a lot that that Cadillac was $11,000. And I thought about like $11,000 from, whatever year that was, like 1970, and I brought it all the way up, and it was like almost $2 million if he had invested it in the S&P 500. My father never knew anybody like me, and the people that would come on the campus, like they would just talk to them about fixed interest rate stuff. And so most of his career, he just got fixed interest rate. And then I remember when I was in um, at school, because I wanted to do communications, I thought I was going to be a news anchor. But once I had no housing at Howard University, I ended up going to University of Virginia because they said they would find me housing. So then I switched my entire major, and that's something I would not be doing. That I have been doing for 30 years. And that's so, but I've also been doing TV and radio, but talking about business. I just thought I was going to be in that studio. So the um, so I was telling my father's friend, Dr. Battle, and maybe Dr. Battle, he might have been like an econ professor, because my parents moved away when I started college, so I had to stay at their house. And then Dr. Battle, because the first 2 years I wasn't in business school yet. You had to go to school 2 years at UVA. It's still like that. And then you get accepted into the business school. So I was, doing what to do to get in there. So I hadn't known anything. But then I also realized that when you study, like I did, finance and accounting, you're not doing personal investing. You're not studying that. So you see, like a lot of people who say, "Oh, you know, they do this," and they say, but their major was finance, or they have a PhD in finance. Like my PhD work in finance has absolutely nothing to do with this, with personal finance. It's corporate. It's corporate finance that we do in school. So the for only personal finance stuff that I did was out in it was in the college, not in the business school. I just happened to take a personal finance class, and then went to Baltimore one summer and stayed with my uncle. And I was working at this accounting firm, and thank God for them sending me back to college, because I could not, I just didn't have, I was working 3 jobs. But that white guy at that venture capital investment firm said, "We really want you here, but you have been accepted to one of the best business schools in the country. And I really think that you should go back. You should go back." Because I was going to go to University of Baltimore, or in something, just anywhere, because my parents weren't that type. Like they were like, "You got to figure it out. You got to figure it out." Even though my dad was president of a college at that time, it was, "You got to figure it out because you should have had a scholarship anyway." So I just made my way back to Charlottesville by the grace of God and figured it out. And but that business school did not do that, did not bring that, but just studying personal finance. So over that summer at that venture capital firm, they introduced me to a financial planner, and he was getting, back then, and that was 80s, he was making $10,000 for each financial plan he was doing me. Yeah, I mean, the steps are ordered by God. And he wasn't doing anything that I do now for just a member, you know what I mean? For, you know, $30 a month. And to get that type of advice that Afro economics offers is, that, I'm just able to do. I wish that I had more entrepreneurs. Because when I look at that lady, like with the vegan lady, and she's going out of business, that she can't pay her rent, and they're turning it into a joke. I wish that people would tell people like that, why don't you talk to JB Bryan? Like she got her own business, she does financing, like she could get you right. Like, because what we do is we know what we do. And I have often said the reason that my business has lasted 30 years is because I do this, because I do finance, because it is the money, the taxes, and everything that will mess you up in business. So you got to get in control of the money, no matter how much. Like, you can be sitting there and you're doing all this money in sales. So everybody's like, look at this. They sold to 50 million in sales. Now it's out there. And you do the news article and brag about it. Now it's out there. So guess who's calling you next? You get the article, they talk about how great it is, and you're running commercials, you're doing these things. Guess who's calling you next? The IRS. IRS. You gotta have your stuff straight. And I love taxes. I love the taxation. I help my clients all the time, members, figure out their taxes, how to do the TurboTax. I'm telling you, that TurboTax and those tax things, they will rob you if you don't know what you're doing. I was doing my own, had to come back out and figure out, like, what in the world? I didn't ask for any advice. You're paying all this money. And I was like, I refuse. They had my bill up to like $30, $300. I said, what? I refuse. So I just like shut it down because I'm smarter in the morning. I shut it down. Then I got back on it in the morning. I had to start all over. But I was like, it's some trickery. You got to know exactly how to answer the questions to get around all that stuff. They gonna max out. If you ain't asked them to make those people available to you, and you're paying more than a membership. Good for you. You know what it's called? Slutty vegan. Have you heard of that, Mr. Brown? Slutty vegan, but like over and over. Look, you could just do like what we did, black women in business filing bankruptcy. Even the one here in Virginia with the sweet potato pies and stuff, file bankruptcy right here, and not nobody, all the black business groups, nobody said, why don't you talk to JB Bryan? If we can just do more together. We can do more together. And Afroeconomics for me has been really good for me emotionally because of the person that I am. So it allows me to get love back. It allows me to give love, like, because you know what I'm saying? I can't imagine being in this world all by myself. Oh, the lady at the slutty vegan is Pinky Cole. So it's Pinky Cole at Slutty Vegan. I bet you will call her too. I think she's in Atlanta. Oh yeah, because Miss Davis is in Georgia. Yes, she's in Atlanta. But yeah, so they were running an article last week saying that um that she's like joking, like, y'all come and buy some food because y'all know I can't pay my rent. They trying to put them out, Miss Davis, of the location. They're like thousands and thousands of dollars behind in rent, and she did some sort of special financing, but it's about like, and then at the same time, Mr. Brown, Mr. Martin, like they call on us when they 1 foot out of the grave. power of unity in the community. Once we know that it's someone that you can trust, once you know, that's why it's better to work with a licensed professional, because literally I have a privacy policy. So it was this one sister I was trying to help one time. I told her, I'll help you for free. Her stuff was just all out of whack, but I would put her on my calendar. She would cancel the appointment, and she was like, and to herself, she was really important. So she was like, don't tell anybody what I'm going through. Don't tell anybody what I'm going through. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know anyone who cares about what you're going through. And what about me suggests that I would talk about you? Like, I mean, I don't know. But I really think, even though I was helping her trying to, and she really needed help, like that, because there was a lot that needed to be done, like for the business, that she was too embarrassed to allow me to help her. And you see it all the time, and people will be like, well, I'm about to retire. I should, I don't know. I don't see it all the time, but I'm sure people go through it all the time. Like, I should get some help, but I ain't got that much money. And I don't know, these people probably got millions and millions. And, I do have clients with millions and millions. I should have clients with millions and millions because I've been doing this 30 years. Lord, most white guys, because there ain't nobody else to talk about. Ain't nobody else been doing this for 30 plus years with me and some white guys. All right. So they don't even take people with less than $1 million. Like, they probably have like 10 clients. I have hundreds. Because I take people and help people regardless of what they have. And I know, because of my research that I'm doing, technology, getting the personalized help that I'm able to do now. Because if I have my way, I want to outlive all of you so that you don't have to worry about being out there and somebody messing over you. If there was a fear that I have, that is the fear. Because I feel that I love you in a way that nobody else can do. And if they could, if God creates that person and they love you the way I love you, it will actually give me peace. There's this one brother, like, before he was getting older and older, and he just did like mutual funds and stuff, and he was a minister and he did mutual funds. And God told me to extend myself to him. And I said, man, you and I need to talk, because I want to make sure that you get paid for the rest of your life. And sometimes coming so strong at people, Mr. Brown, like just coming like that, because this one brother told me that I came at him and I said, hey, let's work together. Let's do this. Like, and that he said he was insulted. Basically, that I was younger than him and that I felt that I was on his level. Isn't that sad? That is sad. So that's why I was saying that a lot of times it's not about trust, it's about the person's insecurities. So the minister that was doing the mutual funds on the side and this and that, had a lot of his members and stuff, life insurance and stuff. I said, I can help you get paid forever. Now your wife. He said, I'll get back to you. I'm talking to, so-and-so, this white firm, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. And he had a major stroke. Next time I saw him, he was like, I should have talked to you. I sent some of my customers to this lady and she's been messing over them and this and that. Yes, indeed. Have a great class. They messing over them and this. I was like, but the you know what? I can't even say that that's foresight. It's just a natural. It's just a natural that if you don't position yourself for your, as going back to what Mimi said, if you don't position yourself for generational wealth, you're not gonna get it. Yeah. So we had a whole bunch of people that came before me, but they didn't position themselves for generational wealth. So we just do it, sell a little mutual fund, next thing is gone. Do it, sell a little mutual fund, it's gone. You know what I mean? I'm out here, thank God, 100% independent, in a position to help you. But I don't think it's trust. I don't think it's trust. I think it's insecurity, self-doubt, not seeing that you're worthy, not, yeah, ignorance. Right? Like, it's really sad, really sad. The So we have to approach, our future like that as well. No, I remember when I first started, and we used to have the little slide projectors, you remember, and we would have these stools for this section, and the stool would say, retirement is a three-legged stool: Social Security, pension, and your investments. Now, very few companies have it, so we would have to say a two-legged stool, because over the last 30 years, and I remember saying this 30 years ago, there are less and less companies that have pensions available. So that means your investment leg has to get bigger, because they'll do the 401k or the TSP and they do the match. But especially like with the government, when they went from the SERS program to the FERS program, it meant you need to be putting more into that TSP. Ignorance is our greatest enemy. Amen. Amen. But the words say, our people shall perish due to lack of knowledge. Yes, indeed. Saturday, members only in DC. So, in your retirement planning, think about how much money you would need if you retired today. Think about, of course, joining Afro Economics, because I have a whole financial planning program that will help you do that, do the whole budget, do your whole financial planning, do a lot to even tell you if you're highly likely to reach your goal, or if we really need to make some serious changes right now. No, and even if you lose your job and you're forced into retirement, like a lot of people are doing now, or they feel like they have to do it, like, oh, you don't have to stop working, but we do need to continue to manage the money. So don't, like, there are so many people that have like switched from job to job to job, and along the way they just left the money behind. So now it's time for us to work on consolidating, looking at the investments, getting a better understanding of what you have, what we can do to improve your performance, what we can do a lot of times in reducing your expenses. A lot of us, especially our community, because of our ignorance, we are paying extreme amounts in expenses for our investments. Mr. Brown, that key word, right? Lack of knowledge. That's all ignorance means. And a lot of people only do what they know. So if you don't know any better, then the fact that you don't know about the options, you don't know about lower expenses, you don't know about how to save. Like I remember one time someone came to see me, and I was telling them what the fee would be based on the amount of assets they had. And they said, oh my goodness, that would be more than XYZ company. That's more than XYZ. I said, actually, no, because XYZ company makes money on the actual product and they charge you a fee. So they're doing way better than me. They're making a lot more money off you. And it was like, but it was just a trip to me that it was like, for even somehow he had convinced himself that if I even make as much as they, then that's a problem. Isn't that sad? That's sad. But in any other case, that would be discrimination. Because if we work somewhere, so you think that you should make less than another person? Or should y'all make the most? We both deserve. You both deserve to make the most, get equal pay. No, not if they look like us. Isn't that sad? But the key to it is that sometimes we're actually paying way too much, but we're doing it because you feel important because you're connected to that company. When the truth of the matter is that when you're working with a registered investment advisor that's independent, I don't have any proprietary products. So my job is only to do what is best for you. Legally required to do that. We're not limited to anybody's 10 or 6 or 20 or 100 options, nothing. But if you're getting me to help with what's at work, yes. But if it's what we're investing in, sky's the limit. We're just basing it on research, historical performance, your risk tolerance level, what is best for you. We get anything, thank God. So we gave you a lot to think about. Sure. So, key points. Americans are feeling more optimistic about retirement. Because in the argument is that because the stock market is doing well, people feel better about their retirement, right? But then on the other side, they're saying that recent unexpected increase in inflation has left lasting scars on savers who worry that their money may not go as far as they wanted to during NATIXIS, NATIXIS, investment managers did a survey. I don't like that name. NATIXIS. I don't know, but that's an issue. So but they did a survey, and it said that the actual confidence of those surveyed actually had gone up since last year, doubled. 21% of Americans surveyed by NATIXIS investment managers said that it would take a miracle to have a secure retirement. But that's down from 41% who said it was 2001. It was as high as 41% said it was going to take a miracle. And I remember covering that data in 2001, where it was like over 40% of investors said that it would take a miracle for them to be able to retire. So that has gone down a lot. And people are feeling more confidence. That's amazing. So the top retirement concerns are that they may live longer than expected. People are worried about Social Security benefits, if they'll be cut. I don't know why they're worried about that. It's not going to happen. And the fear of high inflation and being able to maintain their standard of living during retirement. All of those I can shut down. All of those we can address. Thank you. A lot to consider, like Mr. Brown said. Indeed. I appreciate you all so much. I am JB Bryan, President and Chief Investment Officer of JB Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm and the home of Afro Economics, established in 1995. My number is 1-844 JB Bryan, 1-844-522-7926. I will see you all in DC for our members only meeting, our DC office. And I look forward to it. No members meeting on Friday morning. Just remember, we're not going to do that Friday morning because I will be on the road. I'm going to do a good workout. Then I'm going to get on the road and I want to be there by noon, setting up for Saturday. I love you all and thank you for allowing me to love you. God bless.
I'm JV Bryan, the creator of Afro Economics, a strategic financial empowerment program based on 10 timeless financial principles like generational wealth and legacy, financial knowledge, credit confidence, entrepreneurship, self-reliance, and more. Afro Economics gives you the guidance and tools you can use to develop and sustain wealth. Check out Afro Economics on your favorite social media platforms. You will find us everywhere. Plus, enjoy my weekly Afro Economics podcast. There are many levels of Afro Economics membership, including the free online access membership level called No Excuses. So make no excuses and check out afroeconomics.com today. Powered by JB Bryan Financial Group Incorporated, a registered investment advisory firm. Hashtag Afro Economics.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Mr. White. Thank you, Mr. Harris. Good to see you out there. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jefferson. 1-844-522-7926. That's 1-844-JB Bryan. For Mr. Brown. Thank you.